Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another one. We are out ice fishing. Top secret spot. I got a hot tip from my buddy Jake. He's out here with me too, and we're looking to catch only a few fish probably, but giant bluegills. And he got a 10 3/4 the other day, and some even bigger, over 10 inchers alongside that. So let's hope we're sight fishing. Small jigs, waxies, I would assume. We're in some weeds, shallow weeds, super clear water, super finicky fish, and let's see if we can get a giant. Key, we gotta get it nice and dark in here, and I guess there's not a ton of fish. So when we see one, it's big. I'm gonna get a little bit above the bottom. I can see pretty good, but when these fish come in, you just gotta be super quiet. They can see you blink. These big bluegills are super tough to catch. Ooh, here's one. Here's one. Looks pretty big too. Oh my God! Frickin' snapped me off. I just got snapped off.
You got snapped off?
Yeah.
By a bluegill?
Yeah.
Was it a big one?
I don't know. This is the first one I've seen. It was not small. Oh my Lord. I don't know how big it was because I haven't been seeing them, you know?
Right.
So I don't know how to judge it. He came in and just slurped it. That's not good though. You know, my line did not snap like at the hook. It snapped somewhere else. So yeah, I don't know. I know that's not good. Son of a gun. I don't think I changed my line on that this year. This one I know I did. God dang, that could have been a 10 incher. I don't honestly know.
I would put a giant turn down.
Yeah. He just had a giant tearing him down, he said. I'm worried they're gonna do that to this bait. I guess we'll see. That first one just came right in and... Another thing with these big bluegills, you gotta use light line. And you can't set the hook like a freaking idiot. I kind of did that. I got excited. You gotta have your drag loose. If these things are over 10 inches, that's a big fish. Another thing I'm gonna be watching for when I'm sight fishing is where these fish come from. If you notice a pattern and they start coming from one certain way, you might be off the spot just a little bit. I had him. He just barely touched it. God dang it. God, they are big too. That one I saw better. He bit the head of the jig twice, spit it out, hit the back where the hook would be. I missed one. I'm on fire over here. I rolled him and he came off. Well, it's not going as planned because those are both big. I don't know how big because I haven't gotten one up here yet.
I had like 4 come in that hole and not a single one of them would bite.
I had one eat the head of my jig like 3 times, and then he finally half-ass bit the back. I figured, why not? And I lost him halfway up. I rolled him though. I saw him. He was big, which means the first one was big. Yeah, I don't know if it's the move around game or be patient and wait game, because the last 2 fish that I saw where when you were moving around on the ice came from your direction. You might have better odds if they don't spook and you move around, you might have better odds. But I don't know how spooky they are. I don't know if they're just cruising through and you just find a good spot and wait. Got him. Oh yeah, that's not little. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh God, those first two. Hey Jacob. Look at that. That has got to be close to a 10-incher. That is an absolute giant fish. Look at that. That's a huge one. Let's see what we got. I got one, buddy. You want to take a picture for me? All right, let's see. I think he's just shy. Right on the nose. Oh no. We call that
perfect.
10? 10 and a quarter?
Perfect.
Yeah. It's a female too, it looks like. Giant. Female. Yeah, so those first two were probably 10s as well, if that makes you feel any better. I snapped one off like up on my guide somewhere on the hook set, like totally my fault, but we'll let this beauty go. Oh, yeah, baby. Well, that's precisely what we came for. And it just goes to show now that I've seen one in person, those first two, the one that I snapped off and the one that I missed, they were about that big. So within, you know, I don't think they were a lot bigger, but Jake said he's seen some giants. But that's an honest to God 10-inch bluegill. First one I caught in a long time. So it's only been like an hour. I've only seen 5 fish, 3 bit, and the 3 that bit were all big. So let's see if we can get some more, because a 10-inch bluegill, if you guys fish for them, you know that's special. To get to sight fish them like this, super, super cool. So I'm stoked now. Let's get some out. Get some out. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm using. I just switched, but what I like to do is I hook them through the head and I double hook them. And I've said this in other videos, but especially with these like finicky bluegills, so I double hook them through the head and I pinch the tail and then I squeeze it so those juices come out. And that thing has real natural action in the water, and these finicky bluegills really like it. I'm not saying you have to do it, but it works for me. It's really windy. I'm trying to keep my shack from blowing all over the place, because when these fish come in, it'll spook them. So now my hole's all goofed up too. That was a special fish. My biggest bluegill is about 10 and a half. I've caught quite a few in that 10 to 10 and a half range. Jake got one 10 and 3/4 the other day, and that would be my personal best. And he said he's seen bigger than that. So there's some big ones out here. They're few and far between. I've been in the same hole. Jake's been bouncing around, and I'm not sure what the right tactic is, because they're spooky. So when Jake moves around, you almost got to let a hole settle for a little bit before a fish would come in, potentially. But sitting here, I just went 30 minutes and didn't see anything, and then I caught that one. So I don't know what the right move is, if you should bounce around or if you should just, if you're seeing them, stay. Oh, that one, I didn't even see it. That's just a little one. Didn't even see that fish. I just watched my bait disappear. This little fellow. It's a problem when the hole gets all mucked up from the weeds. I can't see. There's another one. That's a nice one. It's a nice one. Only an 8-incher. Only an 8-incher. Well, that's 2 drops right in back to back. God, that thing looks small. That thing literally looks small compared to the last 10-incher. I'll redo my presentation, because presentation is so important. I'm not going to get a million chances. And these fish usually make up their mind pretty quick. We don't want to give them any excuses not to bite. So put on our new waxy. We just caught 2 in a row. That's good, but they were 7 and 8 inches, which normally I would not be, I don't frown at. But those were tiny when you're getting 10 inchers. Sounds like Jake just missed one. That's what he told me. He said, you're not going to get very many chances, but there's some freaking huge ones. And based on what I've seen, he's right. Oh, that one come out of nowhere. Another little one. Still, it's like a 7.5 incher. Oh, he sucked really good. Good to see. What do we got? A weed bluegill. Man, I still didn't see that one coming. That's a pretty one. Very purple. Oh, we got a nice one. That's another smallish one. A lot more of these than Jake had been catching. That's like my 5th one. Those are nice little keepers. Oh, there's a nice one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big male. Dude, I swear to God, I think you're moving too much. I got a big male. It's not 10, but it's close. This one's a big bump head. Big old bumpy head on him. Big old bump head on him. Look at that sucker. That's a big one. Let's see what he measures. That's a big male, so he's not as long, but he's thick. He's not as long, but he's thick. What do we got here? It's a little over 9.5. 9 3/4 probably. You want to take a picture of this one? Dude, I can't see these bastards coming in. I did not see that. That was a big male. Not as long. Got that big old bump on his head. But that was a dandy. I mean, anywhere you go, that's a 9.5 incher. Anywhere you go, that's a nice fish. I don't care who you are. I wish I could see him coming, but part of me, it's kind of fun not seeing him. That one, I saw my bait disappear, and when I set the hook, I saw him turn sideways, and I knew at that moment that I had a big one. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was really fun to make, and we achieved our goal. We did get a bluegill, honest to God, over 10 inches, and that's a fish of a lifetime, really. Not my personal best, but had I gotten that 10 3/4 like Jake got, I think that'd be my personal best. But as far as these fisheries go, you guys gotta let these fish go. Keep those 7s and 8s, let those big ones go, let them grow. We gotta protect these fisheries, especially like these small lakes. You can get a lot of pressure, and I've seen it in the past where you get a lot of pressure on these spots and you can fish them out and just kill those big bluegill populations, and it can be devastating. So make sure you guys are letting them go, and keep these places safe to your heart. And if you have friends going out like Jake brought me in on this bite, make sure that you're letting those fish go. So hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you want to see this again, and you want me to go back, try to get a bigger one. I would actually enjoy doing that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one.